Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Storytime with Rob. It's great to be back with you today, and it is beautiful weather out there. I hope you're enjoying it. I have a good story for you today. It's from Paul Harvey, rest of the story, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope to see if any of you can figure it out before you get to the end of this one. It's kind of a hard one, but it's a good one. This is called The Good for Nothing. When you're a little boy and dad calls you good for nothing, it just gotta hurt. That's just what Giuseppe's papa called him. Good for nothing, little Giuseppe, good for nothing. And he wasn't joking either, for Papa came from a family of fishermen. 300 years the men in his family had been fishermen in Sicily. And Papa himself was, in fact, a fisherman. When he first came to America, he worked on the railroad until he had saved enough money to send for his wife. Then he headed straight for San Francisco to Fisherman's Wharf to become a fisherman again, to perpetuate the family tradition. Eventually, Papa and Mama had 9 children, and you can imagine that all of the boys got their sea legs early. Began helping Papa out on his fishing boat from the time they learned to walk. All of them, that is, except Giuseppe. Giuseppe didn't want to. What do you mean you don't want to? Demanded Papa. Giuseppe explained that the rocking of the small boat and the smell of the fish made him ill. It wasn't that he didn't want to help out. Fish just didn't agree with him, that's all. That wasn't good enough for Papa. As far as Papa was concerned, Giuseppe was good for nothing. The boy had come from a long line of fishermen, and there was no reason in the world for the profession to disagree with him. Giuseppe was never too sick to go out and play with his friends. Why then did it make him sick to go out and help Papa? Not why, but what happened then is the rest of the story. Disturbed by his father's fisherman's criticism, young Giuseppe tried very hard to adapt to the family business. The rocking of the boat and the smell of the fish still bothered him. So he turned to other tasks, such as sealing the boat and repairing the nets. But as hard as he tried to remain unaffected, the fish smell was still in the gear and made his already sensitive stomach even more queasy. So Giuseppe quit. He went out and odd-jobbed wherever he could. Errand boy, newspaper boy, sometimes he even pulled down $1 a day. It wasn't pocket money, it was table money. You see, every cent Giuseppe earned, he turned over to the household for food and clothing. You'd think Papa would be proud of his son, but to Papa, young Giuseppe was just being lazy. Odd jobs were lazy jobs, according to him. Real work was helping Papa on the fishing boat. This weighed pretty heavily on the young lad. He started hiding under his bed when Papa came looking for him. I can relate to that, I think, some Saturdays when I was younger. Or he ran off to play sports with his friends when he knew Papa was about to call him to the fishing boat. Tennis was especially interesting to him. Watching the older boys play, he knew that tennis champs Maurice McLaughlin and Bill Johnson came from San Francisco, and he wanted to be like them. But the tennis passion didn't last long, and for the first time Giuseppe began to believe his dad. Perhaps he was just a lazy good-for-nothing who couldn't even stay interested in one sport. Maybe he would never ever amount to anything. That's the way Giuseppe saw it back then. Everything just seemed sort of gloomy and hopeless. But as it turned out, Giuseppe one day became the most successful member of his family. Oh, he didn't go back to fishing. Despite his ancestry, Giuseppe just wanted to was not cut out to be a fisherman, or a tennis player for that matter. And when Giuseppe finally found something that interested him sufficiently to stay with it, his passion for it was so great that two of his brothers quit fishing and went and joined him. You've heard of Giuseppe by his American first name. Everyone else has, I guess. And that great big world beyond Fisherman's Wharf won't forget the fishermen that they did lose. Neither will they forget the boy who forgot about tennis only to enter the world of sports and turn it upside down. For if that young man hadn't been too seasick to join the family business, he would have left a vacancy in baseball's Hall of Fame too great to fill. Giuseppe Joe DiMaggio. And now you know the rest of the story. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day and a great week. And until tomorrow, be safe.